This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, but more on that later. One of the main points that Naruto as a series tries to drive home is that Naruto is alone. He has no family. I touch on this topic and make a rather large deal about it quite often. The reason why is because this part of his history is integral to who Naruto is, and is one of the driving forces that allows Naruto to connect with others, and is part of the reason why Sasuke was capable of being brought back to Konoha peacefully, as well as why Naruto was capable of connecting with villains such as Haku, Gaara, Pain, etc., etc. While I still like to think that Naruto could still befriend these people, as his kindness seems to be a holdover from Hashirama Senju and Asura Otsutsuki, it's also known that the fact that he so powerfully cried for these people was because he recognized and identified with them. Without these struggles, Naruto's success rate in befriending others and saving Sasuke dropped quite a bit. Today I'm gonna try and change something. I'm gonna give Naruto a new family, but be careful what you wish for, as not all families are great families to be a part of.
Welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Also, we just released some brand new merch. If you'd like to show your support for the channel even further while at the same time repping stylish clothing, be sure to check that out as well. The store is linked below. YouTube's been unsubscribing users from channels lately, so if you're a fan of us, please do us a favor and double check to see if you're still subscribed. It only takes a second and it helps us a ton here at Amagi. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video.
Now, I'm hesitant about finding a way to go about this, as I don't want to change all of Naruto's history and give him entirely new circumstances. I'm hoping to show an alternate possibility and what his life would have been like with the Hyuga clan, along with his circumstances as a Jinchuriki. Now, the issue with that is that Naruto needs to be born to Minato and Kushina, but he also needs to be a member of the Hyuga clan, and I'm struggling with how to change this. On one hand, I could say that Kushina cheated on Minato, but I really hate that idea, so I'm not going to do it. I could say Kushina was a member of the Hyuga, but that also might not be best because she needs to be an Uzumaki to make use of the chakra chains that allow her to bind tailed beasts. I could make Minato a Hyuga, but I worry that if I do that, it'll change his range of techniques too much. So given that I don't know how best to make Naruto a Hyuga while retaining his past, I'm simply going to leave this up to your imagination instead. So the day Naruto's born, he loses his parents. It wasn't his fault, it was just these circumstances that drove things in that direction. World circumstances, as well as the particular situation in which Kushina, Minato, and Obito found themselves in. At birth, he finds himself exposed to the Nine Tails. His late mother, the former Jinchuriki, the responsibility was passed to him as there were none other nearby who could do the job. Without knowing the consequences, nor about his existence as a whole, he had been forced to make that sacrifice, and now he was alone. As soon as the beast was sealed and the barrier was down, Hiruzen would approach the babe, knowing what happened. Naruto would be taken to the hospital where he'd be nursed for a time. Then, upon the time he could be released, they would identify him as a Hyuga by his Byakugan that he had and send him to the Hyuga clan compound, where the head of the clan, Hiyashi Hyuga, would confirm him to be a member and would delegate the boy's protection to one of the branch houses. Considering his bloodline, which I'm still leaving vague, he'd be sent to live with Hisashi if for no other reason than to honor his deceased parents. He was a year younger than Neji, but slowly the two grew together. Neji was a happy boy, and he was very protective over Naruto, who he had yet to understand was not truly his brother. But then again, is brotherhood really only about blood? Despite Naruto having been the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, most of the Hyuga clan tended to accept him, especially with him being in a branch house, which would require him to take on the curse mark of the caged bird. That, they hoped, would be enough to control him if he ever lost himself to the beast. They respected him also because of the fact that Hiyashi so commanded it. And in the Hyuga clan, whatever the main branch's head says, goes. Naruto's adoption by Hisashi came at a time where Hiyashi himself was preparing to be a father. His first daughter, Hinata, would be born approximately 2 months and 18 days after Naruto. Much changed during this time. The Uchiha were moved to a different part of the village out of spite for their suspected treachery in the Nine Tails attack. The village was still healing, both physically and emotionally, from the attack. That is why Hiyashi had made it an order that Naruto not be allowed out of the Hyuga clan compound, at least not without an escort. not until it could be certain that he could protect himself. Even still, Hiyashi was not able to focus solely on Naruto. Very few Hyuga could. There was still a war. Kumogakure had been at war with Konoha, remainders of the resentment of the Third Shinobi World War. However, they were finally assenting to peace, sending over a special envoy to Konoha in an effort to have a peace treaty signed. And as the head of one of the great clans of Konoha, Hiyashi was expected to sign. This just so happened to be on Hinata's 3rd birthday. At first it appeared to be no more than coincidence, but the question is, does the concept of coincidence exist in the shinobi world? It was on this day, the same day that Neji and Naruto were to get their curse marks, that Hinata was kidnapped by Kumonin with the intent of taking her Byakugan. Such cruelty. Yet it is the world that they live in. As any good father would, Hiyashi chased after her, and taking it a step further, he killed the shinobi who had kidnapped her. It would spiral into a greater conflict that Hiyashi, in his rage, could not see coming. Kumo played the part of the victim. Was it poor leadership? Was it weakness? All of these things and more were wrapped up in Hiruzen. Regardless, Kumo began to demand the body of Hiyashi Hyuga as recompense, else it would inevitably lead to war. Of course, more than revenge, they had hoped to take the Byakugan from a main house member, as they were the only Hyuga beyond the youngest and the newborns not to possess curse marks. Hiyashi was about to turn himself over, but Hizashi stopped him, deciding to take it himself, not only for his duty to keep them from taking an unsealed Byakugan, but because of his love for his brother. Disguising himself as Hiyashi, Hizashi would allow himself to be executed and his body to be in the possession of Kumo. Of course, Kumo didn't get the Byakugan they so coveted, and they were forced to give in to peace as there was no real reason not to, especially considering that they also were likely as tired of war as Konoha. Neji never truly got over this. He believed his father to have been forced. Naruto would also take this hard. Hizashi was the closest thing to a father that he had ever known, and now he was gone. To a point, Naruto also resented Hiyashi for what he perceived to be coercion. However, unlike Neji, Naruto did not blame the entire house, only Hiyashi for his decision. Naruto did not blame Hinata nor Hanabi for the death of Hizashi, and so he would often come into confrontation with Neji, who would have been treating Hinata horribly. Having been chosen as her instructor due to his sheer might and power, Neji would often spar with her. Such sparring sessions would often leave Hinata bedridden for a time. That was when Naruto would have first witnessed the cursed mark's power against a Hyuga in restraining them. Naruto would witness it with Hanabi, the latter of whom he would hide her eyes from it, hoping not to scar her as the screams were already capable of doing. With that, Naruto grew to resent the heads of the clan more in treating their clan less like family and more like servants. That was not how a family should be. Despite this, Naruto would have a good relationship with Hinata and Hanabi. The former he had saved from bullies. It was his duty to protect her, but more than that, he truly cared about her. She was still important to him. A friend. Family even, though distant it may have been. Hinata would be taken by this. She had always liked Naruto due to his kindness, but this was something that seemed to capture her. He was not truly her direct cousin as Neji was, and she knew that, but he was still special to her, like family. Whenever Neji would beat her senseless in training and sparring, Naruto would be there with Hanabi to clean her wounds and make sure she was comfortable. Naruto, to a point, was the direct opposite of Neji. There was nothing special about him. He was not a genius, and he hadn't mastered the gentle fist style as Neji had. He was just a boy who cared about her. And on days that Hinata could not play with Hanabi, Naruto would step in. Hanabi was close to Naruto as well, having already dubbed him Oni-chan, essentially calling him Big Brother Naruto. Naruto also seems to fall behind in the academy, though this doesn't last long, as Neji believes it would be a disgrace to be a Hyuga and not graduate. So he begins teaching Naruto the same way as he taught Hinata. During their spars, Naruto would often speak of their father with Neji, but sometimes it would be about other members of the clan. Naruto tends to ask about Hinata often, asking why Neji takes it all out on her. Neji states that it's due to how she is a main house member. It isn't that Neji has anything against her personally, it's the main house he has a grudge against, and she just happens to be a part of that house. Naruto would tell Neji that he needs to go easier on her instead of trying to kill her every time they spar. Neji would tell Naruto to butt out of it. Naruto would remind him that she is his cousin, and Neji would tell him that it doesn't matter. He is her teacher, and he may teach her in any way he desires. Such a conflict would eventually come to blows, with Naruto ending up bedridden as Hinata once had been. Despite the pain and hell he went through to train, he manages to pass the academy exam and is placed on Team 7 with the rest of the usual suspects. When asked what his dream is, Naruto says that it's to change the way the Hyuga clan works and to set free his family from their lives of indenturement. something that Kakashi tells Naruto will be hard, especially as a branch house member. Naruto accepts the difficulty of that, considering it all the more reason why it's worthy to be his life's dream. As dangerous as it could be, Kakashi commends Naruto on his attitude towards hard work. As the bell test comes around, not too much actually changes. Naruto is still Naruto after all, and regardless of his Byakugan, not much is going to change the distance between Naruto and Kakashi's powers, and that's going to result in a set of fingers right in the place where the sun don't shine, setting Naruto off like a bottle rocket. Sasuke also continues to try in his own way, though he is even more determined now due to Naruto being a Hyuga, a clan that would be seen as the longtime rival of the Uchiha clan due to similar dojutsu, each with its own particular strengths and weaknesses. The results are the same though, as Sasuke doesn't have the capacity at this time to take on Kakashi. Naruto would lose hope, but he wouldn't attempt to eat the lunchboxes this time around. Naruto isn't the same as he was back then. He has some form of discipline due to his home life as a Hyuga, something he lacked before. This results in him being far more respectful. Of course, they still pass the test. The reason isn't because Sasuke or Sakura feed Naruto, but because in that time in the original timeline, Sasuke was the first to realize that if they had any hope of beating Kakashi, then they would need to work as a team. And if he saw that then, he would see the same now, especially considering that Sasuke would respect a Hyuga clan member more than a normal Naruto. So it seems likely that Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura would work together to get the bells. Even if they don't get it, which they likely won't, it's still a good thing because all they really need to do is prove that they have the capacity for teamwork. Now, moving forward, I ironically don't think that the Land of Waves arc would happen. The reason being that Naruto at this time is far more respectful than before and far less likely to show his ass in front of the Hokage. This could also mean that they might skip the Chunin exams, but considering that this would be a boring outcome since nothing really happens, we're going to say that they still end up going on the Land of Waves mission. This is, after all, the introduction arc. It's gotta happen, or it just wouldn't feel right. Not to mention that I want to see how Naruto would react in the arc as a Hyuga. But before that, this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is a free-to-play downloadable game for Android and iOS. Whether you're into competitive play, cooperative play, or perhaps the hermit's lifestyle, this game has exactly what you need. With rich lore and deep world building, Raid tells a fantastic story based in the land of Teleria, a land that is now under threat by the vicious Lord Cyroth. As one of the many resurrected champions, it is your job to stop him. To do so, you'll need champions, allies, and equipment. You can grind EXP and farm new equipment that you use to get yourself off the ground, and if you enjoy playing with the crowd, Raid offers PvP and cooperative play that each possess their own unique rewards. One of my personal favorite champions is Sir Nicholas. He's basically the in-universe Santa Claus who busts the skulls of the naughty through his Boreal Blade ability, which gives him a 50-50 chance of freezing any enemy he strikes. As said before, Raid is free to play and offers new content and events on a regular basis, and if you use my link in the description below, you can earn even more awesome in-game swag. If you're looking for a really awesome champion, Raid has recently introduced a new one. Bust skulls as the legendary Ronda Rousey by logging into Raid for 7 days to get her for free in this new promotion lasting until February 20th. She's a legendary attack magic champion with godlike strength. Check the link provided below to download Raid Shadow Legends today and start making a name for yourself and your clan with unique bonuses and champions. And now, back to the video. So Naruto and the rest of Team 7 are going on said mission, taking Tazuna to the Land of Waves, unsuspecting of the action that awaits. The Demon Brothers would appear from hiding. Normally Naruto would freeze up. I don't exactly expect him to here, as the Hyuga are one of, if not the most formidable clans in all of Konoha, and for good reason too. Not just because of their eyes, but because of their dedication and discipline, which means they train hard enough to be worthy of the Byakugan they possess. So Naruto likely wouldn't freeze, having seen it coming with his near 360-degree field of vision. He would have gotten out of the way in time. Sasuke would take one of them, and Naruto would likely attempt his imperfect gentle fist techniques, likely trying the 8 trigrams 64 palms, something that, while managing to paralyze parts of his opponent's body, leaves enough open to cause Naruto to be in danger. He would be saved though by Kakashi, who warns him that while it is important to be innovative on the battlefield, combat against a deadly opponent is no place to try new tricks. Continuing on, they're caught by Zabuza, who stands in their way. After a short battle with Kakashi, Naruto and Sasuke are forced into the action due to their mentor having been caught in a water prison. Naruto and Sasuke must be called upon to fight Zabuza, and they must act fast because Kakashi is slowly drowning in this bubble made of water. Now, all things considered, Naruto's Hyuga heritage here does not offer him enough new abilities to assume that he beats Zabuza in some new and exciting way. His reserved and disciplined nature would keep him open to ideas, and when Sasuke declares his plan to Naruto, Naruto would agree to it as the best course of action that they could take on such short notice. Transforming himself into a Demon Wind Shuriken, Naruto allows himself to be thrown by Sasuke in the shadow of a second Demon Wind Shuriken. This is a double feint though, as they expect Zabuza to see through their first trick, but not their second. Once Zabuza dodges these, Naruto will launch the true attack with his kunai that he would throw with incredible accuracy due to his Byakugan. Zabuza dodges it just in time not to be harmed by the weapon, but his dodging forces him to release Kakashi, which ultimately leads to his faked demise. Making it to Tazuna's house, we are witness to Kakashi training his students to control their chakra, particularly at the bottom of their feet, which will allow them to climb vertical surfaces, stand on inverted surfaces, and even run across the surface of a body of water. Sakura would explain it to them before demonstrating that she herself is proficient. Sasuke would have his standard issues with it. However, when it comes down to Naruto, one of two possibilities play out. The first is possible that due to his training as a Hyuga, he would already know this technique. The second possibility is that he doesn't know this technique, but picks it up immediately. The reason why he'd be able to do this is that the Hyuga have two abilities, not one. They have the dojutsu called the Byakugan, yes, but that is only one of their special abilities. They possess a second, which people tend to forget. It's required to be proficient in the gentle fist style. They possess the rare ability to be able to properly control the chakra out of any of their 361 tenketsu. This ability is what allows them to use the ability Gentle Fist Palm Rotation, the technique reputed to be an absolute defense by the Hyuga. And Naruto would possess the natural ability to do so, meaning that his chakra control is naturally phenomenal. He would probably be able to do this more quickly and with less difficulty than Sakura, something that earns him respect in Sasuke's eyes. However, it also earns him resentment as Naruto's growth rate is quickly catching up with and threatening to surpass Sasuke's. Then, back at the house, we would see another change when Inari begins to criticize the team over their heroics. Normally, Naruto would just snap and jump down the small bean's throat, but not Naruto Hyuga. Naruto Hyuga is disciplined. He will not be baited by a 4-year-old. So basically, Inari just cries himself to sleep in his room, and Naruto never really spurs him to change. Inari never changes, meaning he never spurs on anyone else to change either, and that will end up very bad moving forward. Especially considering that Naruto already completed his training, meaning he'll never meet Haku, nor will he be around when they come to take Inari. Naruto would be on the bridge when Haku attacks and likely end up in the demonic mirroring ice crystals technique. Now here, much like Sasuke, Naruto can dodge the incoming Senbon due to his Byakugan. In fact, he can dodge it better than Sasuke due to possessing a 360-degree field of vision, and if they stand back to back, they can better keep up with Haku and the Senbon. On top of that, Naruto has palm rotation, which is an absolute defense. It takes up a lot of chakra to use in succession or for an extended period of time, but with all of these things, Naruto and Sasuke can buy some time. Time that Kakashi will be able to use to defeat Zabuza, and if we all know Haku, and we do, he will prioritize Zabuza's safety over anything, resulting in him breaking off his attack to sacrifice himself for his mentor. That would result in Sasuke and Naruto breaking from the Mirror Dome, yet they are tired and weakened, and there are a few Senbon sticking out of them. Zabuza would have been defeated, though he would still try to attack. This is when Gato and his men appear to end it all, holding Inari and Tsunami hostage. Team 7 immediately backs off when their lives are threatened. Zabuza, on the other hand, does not. He goes about killing them all, killing Gato, then moving to his men. He decimates them, but they would end up killing him. This results in the deaths of Inari and Tsunami as revenge for the death of Gato. This deeply affects Tazuna, who is never quite the same. Team 7 would return to Konoha. The bridge would eventually be completed, but Tazuna's life would be ruined, coming to an end in a drunken stupor somewhere in the streets, having lost everyone close to him, believing that it would have just been better to have been killed on the way home by the Demon Brothers. The team would be in a funk from the way their mission ended, with Kakashi telling them that sometimes there were times when missions just weren't satisfying, times when the cost of victory made you question that very victory. He said that it was only human, but that they couldn't let it dissuade them from continuing their work. They couldn't let it get in their heads. He comforted them in reminding them that while they failed to save 2 people, they saved an entire village from a greedy mafioso, and that should be something to focus on instead. And with that, Naruto and Team 7 would continue their work, with Naruto returning home to the Hyuga compound where he continues to train with Neji and play with Hanabi while Hinata couldn't. Through this, Naruto grew stronger and closer to finishing the 8 trigrams 64 palms technique, one that he, like Hinata, was struggling to learn. He could see what he needed to strike, and he could control his tenketsu, but making his body move the way he wanted it at such speeds was a bit harder. And that was why Neji tended to defeat Naruto. After that, Naruto and his team would be informed that the Chunin exams were coming to the village and that they were allowed to enter. The team would celebrate and together would leave to join in. They would then be stopped by Lee, who had hoped to face Sasuke in battle, and though their battle is interrupted, it becomes clear to Sasuke that Lee would have won and that he needs to focus on his taijutsu more. They sign up for the exams and begin with the first test, that being the written test. Originally, Naruto struggled quite a bit, while Sasuke and Sakura effortlessly breezed through it. This time though, Naruto is ready, due to possessing the Byakugan, which allows him to find the one genin with all the right answers and copy him. Is it cheating? Yes. Does it matter? No, because the faux goal of the test is to see who can gather intelligence without being detected, and Naruto is doing that. So technically he is doing this correctly. However, the real goal of the test is revealed in the end when they're told that the entire test to that point didn't really matter and that only the final question does. However, if they fail, they would never again get the chance to become Chunin. Naruto has nothing to lose as he plans to do something else with his life that he can technically do without being a Chunin. All students who take the question are allowed to pass, and this includes the entirety of Team 7. The second test is the Forest of Death. The teams are either given a Heaven Scroll or an Earth Scroll. The goal is to guard your scroll while taking from another team their scroll that is the opposite of the one that you have, and then take both to the building in the center of the forest. In lesser terms, it's a fancy game of capture the flag. During this mission, Naruto ends up eaten by a snake. In the original timeline, he would explode out of it with his many shadow clones, but in this, he merely uses palm rotation to ensure he can't fully go down its throat, forcing the snake to regurgitate him. Sasuke would engage Orochimaru in battle and would freeze. He would take out a kunai and begin to stab himself in the leg in an attempt to free himself from the grip of fear. They battle for a while until Naruto catches back up with them. Still, Sasuke decides to cut his losses and offer the scroll in exchange for their life, something Naruto doesn't agree with. He would take the scroll back. He wouldn't punch Sasuke, but he would chastise him for being a coward, saying that he's dragging the name of the Uchiha through the mud. Naruto would attempt to fight Orochimaru because that's all he can do. When Orochimaru summons a snake and knocks Naruto away, it seems as though Naruto might die, but that is when he suddenly taps into something deeper and awakens the chakra of the Nine Tails within. He doesn't know what it is or how he's using it. All he knows is that he suddenly has a huge chakra boost. With it, he manages to push back the snake and spurs Sasuke into action. However, this battle ends with Naruto's power being sealed and Sasuke getting branded with the Cursed Seal of Heaven. Both end up passing out for the time being. This leaves Sakura to defend them, and most of this stays the same. She struggles, but holds her own until Rock Lee appears to save her. From there, the rest of the Rookie 9 show up to protect them from Team Dosu. That is when Sasuke wakes up and obliterates Team Dosu. He's stopped short of killing them by Sakura, who calms him down and brings him back to his senses. Together with Naruto, Team 7 would find their second scroll and make it to the center of the forest to the arena. There, they'd be greeted by Iruka. Now, the preliminaries actually don't change at all, save for Naruto being more effective in his battle against Kiba and Akamaru. After this, they receive their month off. However, given that Naruto is a Hyuga, it's likely that he trains with his clan. Likely not with Neji due to the conflicting interests of both having to fight in the next rounds. Naruto probably doesn't come into contact with Jiraiya at all, and that means that he doesn't learn how to summon Gamabunta. Instead, he begins to train with Hinata instead, who had previously been eliminated by Neji. She begins to help Naruto train and perfect his skills. Naruto does so for over a month, which results in Naruto's skill increase. Then when the month is over, the time comes for the two who had been raised like brothers to have their match. Naruto stands across from Neji. Naruto takes off his forehead protector and attaches it to his arm to expose his curse mark to Neji, something that Neji sneers about. Neji would mention that Naruto has been serving Hinata like a slave and begging for training like a dog at the table of the master. Naruto responds that Hinata isn't his master, nor is he her slave. He tells Neji that she is his friend. The two battle, and Neji has the obvious lead in skills, capable of protecting himself from anything that Naruto can throw at him. But Naruto isn't done yet. He knows Neji's strength, but he also knows his weaknesses. He knows that the Hyuga have chinks in their armor, ways to break through their absolute defenses. The issue is getting close enough to Neji to do so. He rushes into attack, but is suddenly struck by Neji's 8 trigrams, 64 palms. The technique knocks Naruto back and closes many of his tenketsu, leaving him paralyzed on the ground. Neji believes that he's won, but Naruto's pure determination awakens his Nine Tails chakra, allowing him to stand. Once on his feet, he begins his next line of assault, coming in from Neji's blind spot and showing off his own 8 trigrams, 64 palms, which he has finally perfected. Neji is struck, paralyzed, and defeated by Naruto, and he's left to wonder how. How did Naruto shake off the effects of this attack? How did Naruto master the gentle fist? How could Neji be defeated by the talentless Naruto? After this, Naruto visits Neji in the infirmary where they talk about these things. Naruto mentions he's not really sure how he did any of it. It's then that Hyuga comes in. Having been moved by Neji and Naruto's struggle, as well as the trauma they've experienced and the hardships, he feels he owes it to them to tell them. For so long, Neji and Naruto have believed that the main house had forced Hisashi to kill himself. That belief is what had driven Naruto to resent Hisashi, and what had driven Neji to resent the entire main house, on top of his beliefs that he was nothing more than a servant who could never decide his own future. With tears in his eyes, Hisashi explains the truth to them both and begs for their forgiveness. Neji is stunned by this information, and while Naruto is certainly surprised, it can't be said that he didn't see it coming. Hisashi held the same beliefs that Naruto did. During the battle between Sasuke and Gaara, Sasuke manages to wound Gaara. However, before Sasuke can finish it, the battle is interrupted as the Konoha crush begins. Kabuto puts everyone to sleep. During this time, Kumo-nin decide to take advantage of the chaos and once more attempt to take Hinata. Naruto is awakened, and though Sasuke and Sakura are fighting Gaara, Naruto has his own mission to carry out, joining Neji, Tenten, and Kiba and Akamaru on their own mission to save Hinata. They chase down the Kumo-nin and defeat them, rescuing her and returning home. Once they're home, they realize that the Hokage has been killed and that Sasuke and Sakura are in the hospital in critical condition, just barely surviving their battle. This saddens Naruto, and a few days later he's there with Hinata at the Hokage's funeral. Now, Naruto does not go with Jiraiya to recruit Tsunade, specifically because he doesn't even know Jiraiya. Jiraiya goes by himself, which results in a failure to recruit Tsunade, and she is killed by Orochimaru. This results further in Danzo being chosen to be the 5th Hokage. During this time, Itachi and Kisame come to the village searching for the Nine Tails. They're brought to the Hyuga compound, where they search for their quarry. However, with the combined help of Naruto, Neji, as well as Hyuga, they push them back. It's then revealed to Naruto by Hisashi the truth of what he is and why they're after him. Naruto is shocked by this information, but then things begin to make sense. Hisashi tells Naruto that a time may come where he needs that tailed beast's power, and that he needs to train for it. To that end, he would introduce Naruto to Jiraiya for training. But before this, Naruto is informed that Sasuke has left the village to join Orochimaru and would go along with Neji to bring back his friend. During the course of this, Naruto would end up facing Sasuke at the Valley of the End, where the two duke it out. In the end, Sasuke proves to be stronger than Naruto, and Naruto is defeated. Sasuke defects to Otogakure, and Naruto is left to train with Jiraiya, and from here, the 2.5-year time skip occurs. During this time, Jiraiya would teach Naruto summoning, Rasengan, as well as how to control his tailed beast. Of course, Naruto fails to master his version 2 during this time, but he at least manages to master his version 1 cloak to the highest degree, even finally having his first encounter with Kurama, an experience probably a lot worse than Naruto was expecting. Upon returning to the village, he's told that Gaara, the new Kazekage, has been kidnapped by a group known as the Akatsuki, and he's sent out with his team alongside Team Guy, where he gets to team up with Neji once more. Together they manage to make it to the Akatsuki hideout, but Gaara has already died. Naruto and Kakashi would manage to retrieve the body from Deidara, while Sakura and Chio manage to defeat and kill Sasori. They lament the death of Gaara, with Naruto claiming that his life was hell because of his tailed beast, which is why he ended up the way he was. Chio makes the fateful decision to sacrifice her life to save Gaara's. This is celebrated by Naruto and Sakura, who both have already forgiven Gaara. Naruto tells him that he no longer needs to worry about Shukaku. Gaara is pleased to finally be able to sleep without worry. He would be touched by Chio, Naruto, and Sakura's kindness and would begin upon a new path. One of peace, one that would begin to lead Tsunagakure in that direction. Naruto and the others would begin to return to Konoha when Sakura reveals that Sasori told her about a secret meeting between himself and a spy in Orochimaru's ranks. Once they return to Konoha, a mission is put together to get Sasuke back and kill Orochimaru, a mission that's orchestrated by Danzo and thus doesn't include Team 7. The mission becomes a root matter, and so they send various members of the Anbu, including Sai, to eliminate Orochimaru and Sasuke. However, word would return that the entire team was killed and that Orochimaru and Sasuke escaped. Danzo would then turn his attention to the Akatsuki, where he'd send various shinobi into the field to hunt them down. Team Asuma end up making contact with Hidan, which does result in Asuma's death. Naruto during this time is taking time to form a new ninjutsu, one that upon creation he plans to test out in the field, the Rasen Shuriken. Along with the rest of Team 7, they encounter Kakuzu. Kakashi attempts to kill him with his Chidori, but it's revealed that Kakuzu has multiple hearts. Naruto would use his Rasen Shuriken on him, managing to kill him. Shikamaru managed to get vengeance on Hidan, severing his head and burying it alive in a hole on Nara clan land, leaving him an eternity to suffer in darkness and claustrophobic earth. Naruto would take some time to heal, dealing with frustration as his new ninjutsu is named a Kinjutsu due to the injuries it causes. Word then reaches that Sasuke has killed Orochimaru and is now on his way to kill Itachi. Danzo hopes to stop this by killing both first. He especially hopes to kill Itachi as he knows that he may spill their secrets at his death. However, this team fails to return as well as Tobi engages them in combat and destroys them. Word then reaches that Jiraiya has been killed and Naruto is asked to help decipher his final message. Naruto is heartbroken though. He really enjoyed spending time with Jiraiya, and to think that he's gone now really upsets him. He'd return to the Hyuga compound where he'd find comfort from Hiyashi, Hinata, Hanabi, and Neji, 4 people he considers to be family. After this, he would go to Mount Myoboku to train with the Toad Sages to learn Sage Mode. He would successfully learn it just in time as Pain attacks the village. He'd quickly return to find the village decimated. Facing Pain, honestly, nothing really changes about this. Even Hinata's claim of love. In fact, I'm surprised it took her this long. She's been exposed to Naruto long enough that I'm sure she's grown more comfortable with him. Naruto manages to defeat the 6 paths of pain. He would then find Nagato, and together the two would talk about their differing ideologies. Naruto would convince Nagato of the errors of his ways, which would result in Nagato deciding to revive the dead he had killed in Konoha with the Samsara of Heavenly Life technique. Naruto is hailed as a hero of both the Leaf and the Hyuga, with the latter throwing a huge party for him. After this, though, comes the 5 Kage Summit, which Danzo attends. However, Sasuke crashes the party. He had killed Itachi, and after passing out, he would have been notified by Tobi about the truth of the Uchiha and what had happened. Since then, Sasuke's search for vengeance had transformed from hatred of his brother to hatred of the village, and he's since set out on the warpath to destroy the village. That warpath leads him to the 5 Kage Summit where he plans to kill the Hokage, Danzo. After the 4th Shinobi World War has been declared, all Kage scatter back to safety after the alliance is formed. Danzo is cornered by Sasuke. At first, Danzo has the edge due to his usage of Izanagi. However, Sasuke manages to survive the finite time limit with Karin's help, and finally, in the ultimate act of betrayal, he stabs through Karin to kill Danzo. Sasuke is then encountered by Sakura, Kakashi, and Naruto. This results in a short battle between Naruto and Sasuke, which results in Sasuke fleeing due to going blind from overusing his Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto is also accidentally poisoned by Sakura, who had attempted and failed to kill Sasuke. They return to the village and Kakashi would be elected to be the new leader of Konoha, acting as its 6th Hokage. First order of business, put Naruto in a safe place. If he is the ultimate goal of the Akatsuki, he needs to be hidden so that the Akatsuki can never finish their plans. Naruto would be sent to train with Killer Bee, who would be helping him learn how to master his tailed beast's power. First though, he's required to corner the darkness in his heart, but once he's conquered that, he can move on to conquering the darkness in Kurama's heart. He battles Kurama in this headspace, but is aided by Kushina, who helps hold it down while Naruto removes the tailed beast's chakra. This allows him to enter Ninetales chakra mode and sense the war. However, unlike in the original timeline, Naruto stays put. He knows his importance to the war and that if he's captured, the Ten Tails will awaken. If anything, he needs to stay behind and guard Killer Bee to ensure that nobody gets the 8 Tails. However, Kisame Hoshigaki appears to take the 8 and 9 Tails from them. After overpowering him, Naruto would inform him that he can't take their tailed beasts. Kisame would state that he doesn't need to. All he needs to do is take some of their chakra. That is all that's required to awaken the Ten Tails. Kisame then flees, and though he's caught and killed, his blade Samehada is nowhere to be found. Naruto and Killer Bee know that there is no reason to remain behind, and they rush to the front lines. They would be stopped by the Raikage, who would tell them to return to safety, but Naruto would explain that the Akatsuki don't need the whole beast, just a little bit of the chakra, and that now the Akatsuki have their chakra due to their attack on the Turtle Island. The Raikage decides to let them join in to give them a chance at victory. They would have to fight through various different Edo Tensei and seal them, including Itachi. Naruto would not have got the chance to be gifted Konoha Tsukami by Itachi due to Danzo attempting to send a kill squad after him instead of Team 7. And trust me, this changes a lot. This makes their battle harder as they need to seal or give peace to the Edo Tensei they face, and due to Sasuke never meeting Itachi, he never gets that change of heart nor the desire to stop, and this results in him abandoning the war effort simply in hopes of destroying Konoha. Naruto would then make it to the final battle where he would manage to defeat Obito with the help of Kakashi's Mangekyo Sharingan. However, this does not stop the reawakening of the Ten Tails nor its absorption by Obito. For a while, Obito rages, but so does the Ten Tails. Naruto is too busy focusing on Obito to realize he's about to die. Hinata jumps in the way to save him, but before she's killed, Neji jumps in to save her. Naruto is stunned. Neji looks back upon the road they've come down and finds it ironic that, in the end, despite having been given a choice, he still chose to serve the main house and die for the heiress. Naruto begs him not to go, but Neji can't hold on. He entrusts the future to Naruto, telling him that Naruto's dream to free the branch house is worth chasing, and he needs to accomplish it. He then dies, his curse mark kicking in, sealing his Byakugan. Naruto doesn't know how to respond, but Hinata tells Naruto that Neji and so many others have died just to get Naruto this far and are entrusting the future to him. She snaps him out of it, and Naruto begins to fight against Obito. Naruto, however, cannot beat him alone and is seemingly killed. Hinata and Sakura desperately try to wake him, but he seems to be gone. In his own head, he laments his death and how he failed everyone. He's then met by the Sage of Six Paths, who wakes him and tells him that the threat of the Ten Tails must be quelled. He then tells Naruto the story of the Ten Tails, Kaguya, and the infinite Tsukiyomi. He leaves it to Naruto to stop the events from transpiring. To this end, he gives Naruto some of his Six Paths chakra, and awakens him. Naruto awakens. Sakura and Hinata ask him if he's okay. Naruto says that he is, and that he knows what he must do. He rushes to the battlefield to face Obito. Obito asks him if he's back for more. Naruto opens his eyes, revealing them to be Tenseigan, and tells him that he is. Obito mentions that something about Naruto has changed, and Naruto notes that it has, and that he won't lose again. He activates his Tenseigan chakra mode, his body flaring to life with blue chakra as truth-seeking balls appear behind him. Naruto attacks Obito and manages to beat him back, removing the Ten Tails from him. After having a heart-to-heart, Naruto convinces Obito of his wrongdoings the same as he had with Pain, causing Obito to desire to bring back the life of all those he had killed in the war. However, he fails as Black Zetsu forces him to revive Madara. Madara is revived and absorbs the Ten Tails himself, becoming its Jinchuriki. Naruto saves Obito from death using his yin-yang release and then proceeds to fight Madara, but he cannot beat him within the time limit and the moon rises overhead. Madara is ready to cast the infinite Tsukiyomi, but Black Zetsu betrays him, transforming him into Kaguya Otsutsuki. Naruto would then engage her in battle along with Sakura, Kakashi, and Obito. Obito is killed by Kaguya's all-killing Ash Bones. However, before he passes on to the afterlife, he allows Kakashi to use his double Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, believe it or not, Naruto has two ways to defeat Kaguya. He has seals, yes. I assume that if Hagoromo gives him both halves of his chakra instead of just one, then Naruto will get both seals. However, there's also the other way, which ironically is the same thing. Naruto right now has the Tenseigan, and the Tenseigan, much like the Rinnegan, has control over the attracting and repulsing forces of gravity, but on a far greater scale, as the Tenseigan's feats in the Naruto movie put its Chibaku Tensei powers on par with Six Paths Chibaku Tensei, which was capable of imprisoning Kaguya in the moon. So if we assume that Naruto can manage to pull off such a feat, he could defeat her in that way too. That is the reason why I'll end this battle as such. Naruto claps his hands together, touching the two seals as he uses the power of his Tenseigan to create a massive Chibaku Tensei the size of the moon, and manages to lock Kaguya away in it. The Sage of Six Paths then brings everyone back from that alternate dimension. Due to this, peace resumes, however, not all is well. After the war, Naruto must find and face Sasuke. Naruto would manage to catch Sasuke and the two would fight, but Naruto would manage to beat Sasuke and Sasuke would be imprisoned. Unable to get over his hatred, he rots in prison. Time would pass and Naruto and Hinata are officially dating each other. However, Toneri has his own plans. He beats the crap out of Hiashi, which Naruto takes personally. Going even more personal, Toneri kidnaps Hanabi and removes her Byakugan to put into his own head. Even more personal than that, he kidnaps his girlfriend to force into a marriage before he ends the world. I'ma tell ya, Toneri just pooped in his Easter basket. Naruto goes to the moon and the two Tenseigan users do battle. Naruto shows greater power, training, skill, and overall ability, which results in Toneri's defeat. Naruto would then show his kind side by not killing Toneri, instead simply showing him the truth that it was not Hamura's will to destroy the Earth. And because of that, Toneri repents his decision to destroy Earth and remains a recluse on the moon, despite an offer to come to Konoha. He vows to protect Earth from his place on the moon, just as Hamura did all those years ago. After this, a lot of time passes, and Naruto marries Hinata, and the two begin to have children. First is Boruto, his name of the same convention as Naruto and Minato's, but also a slight reference to Uncle Neji. Then, not long after that, Himawari is born. Hinata would take her place as the heir of the Hyuga clan with Hanabi's blessing, and Naruto would end up thrust into the Hokage's spot since there is literally nobody else who can. Not exactly the dream he hoped for. However, Hinata decides to change things herself and discontinues the ritual of branding all secondary branch members, just as Naruto had hoped. Naruto would then lead the village. Eventually Momoshiki and Kinshiki would appear. The issue here is that I don't know if they can find Naruto. Sasuke is not here to teleport them. If not, the series ends there and Momoshiki harvests all the chakra on Earth. But if we BS a way for Naruto to be rescued, he might just be able to beat them on his own. When it comes down to fighting against Ishiki, Naruto might need to use Baryon mode, which would definitely kill Kurama, but we'd get to see an awesome version of Baryon mode in which Naruto's cloak and tails are blue. And that's pretty much it before the Code arc, and beyond that, I wish to answer a question I'm sure you're all asking. How did Naruto get the Tenseigan? Well, the Tenseigan is essentially the Byakugan's version of the Rinnegan. Some might not consider it the same thing, but I have reason to believe that it is a six paths technique. Specifically because Hamura is said to have had a Tenseigan and possessed Six Paths chakra. But beyond this, if you look at Toneri in his chakra mode, he actually possesses these little black orbs. See him? That's what you call truth-seeking balls. And in the entirety of Naruto, nobody has ever had truth-seeking balls unless they possessed Six Paths Senjutsu. This technically means that the chakra mode is actually a form of Six Paths Sage mode that Toneri is using. This is further hinted to be true when Toneri is gathering the Byakugan to him to continue destroying the Earth and accidentally flies into direct sunlight, causing his body to warp due to going beyond his natural limits for chakra. He was pushed beyond those natural limits by sunlight, natural energy. This suggests that Toneri possessed Six Paths Senjutsu when he awakened Tenseigan, so I assume that if Naruto possessed Byakugan and got Six Paths chakra, he'd do the exact same thing, including getting Six Paths Sage mode and Tenseigan, but that's just me.
Did you enjoy our video? Well, then be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
And make sure to install Raid Shadow Legends for free by clicking on the link in the description.